Welcome to this week's Known Origin guest editor spot. My name's Ryan Watson, co-curator and communications director with Art Rapture. With me today is the chief curator, Paul Becker.
Thanks, Ryan. Paul Becker here, chief curator of Art Rapture, actually in Vancouver, British Columbia on a beautiful sunny day, hanging outside the Hootsuite building, checking out this really awesome iHeart stencil work called The Missing Piece. Which leads us to our curation and guest editor spotlight on Known Origin. Thank you to the Known Origin family. On April 14th at 8 p.m. UTC time, we're releasing 3 works of art as part of our guest editorial spotlight. There'll be one iHeart called Follow for Follow, one Ola Volo called Aphrodite Blue, and one Jantzi called Still Life with Perfume. Absolutely exquisite works, very rare, very collectible.
Hey, Paul, maybe talk about Art Rapture, the collective, and what we're trying to do with the artists that we're working with.
In brief, we've been in the NFT space since the beginning of 2021. We saw the velocity coming in. We were excited. We talked to our artists, and they just saw endless possibilities to be creative in this space. So we embraced it and went after it. We found a lot of different platforms, offered a lot of different things, and we found our home here on Known Origin to provide the people phenomenal content with our artists.
Talk a little bit about iHeart and the success recently with Known Origin.
Yeah, I think it's pretty unique and pretty exciting for iHeart. So we looked at a lot of his stencil work that has social commentary, and it's a lot of fun, and there's comedy in there and satire in there as well. And we felt it was a perfect transition into the NFT space because it's like, wouldn't it be cool if your mural could come to life? Wouldn't it be cool if you could add sound to your mural that makes it so much more appetizing for a viewer, and then that can reach a much larger audience? So we started off by a few stillness works, which is a butterfly that came down on a girl's hand and then disappeared, and we did several variations of that, and fans really liked it. And then Known Origin gave us an awesome opportunity to do a featured drop with iHeart in March, and we decided to use his most iconic image, which is actually behind me here and behind Ryan over there as well, which is called Nobody Likes Me. And it's this iconic work from 2014 that iHeart originally created in Stanley Park, Vancouver, of a boy crying with a social bar above his head, 0 likes, 0 follows, 0 comments, nobody likes me. This hit fanfare around the world. In fact, Banksy shared it himself. It garnered a mass amount of attention. And then Street Art News and Street Art Globe gave it huge nods and actually nominated it as the second most important street art piece of 2014 globally. And only next to, of course, who? The legend, the GOAT, Banksy, when it comes to stencil art. So we took that iconic image, we created in different variations, and we gave a little nod to the crypto frenzy and craze that's going on right now with Nobody Likes Me Crypto Drips, AKA Nobody Likes Crypto. And it's pretty cool because the boy's got 0 Bitcoin, 0 Ethereum, 0 Doge, and he's crying. And we created those in limited edition formats and several different animation styles. And when it dropped, when we had the featured drop with Known Origin, every single piece sold in under 2 minutes. It was pretty awesome and a sign of the times for sure.
Another street artist like making waves all over the place in the art world now is Ola Volo. And I know you guys had a print run that dropped just this last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah, and even more coming. So talk a little bit about the energy there with this amazing artist.
Ola Volo is an absolute gem. She's like the femme fatale, a tour de force, a true queen of the game. I believe she's one of the most important female muralists in North America. She's done projects for Lululemon, Starbucks. She's got artwork in the HQ at Starbucks, their flagship stores, Holt Renfrew, the Vancouver Opera, all sorts of different projects that she's worked on, but then also these massive murals throughout Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, Montreal, all over the USA and LA, Chicago, all sorts of places. And she's seldom creates fine art. And what I mean by that is she's so busy with a lot of her projects and her murals that she seldom has time to really go hit the paint on canvas or create prints for collectors. So she has so many fans that love her work, but they rarely have an opportunity to collect the work. And that's where Art Rapture kicks in. So Ola and I are really good friends. We have an incredible vein of synergy together. And I launched a solo show for her in 2018, and we sold out everything in a weekend. We had vases, we had paintings, we had prints. And that was actually Art Rapture's first kick at the can at Rapture Editions, which is our print publishing arm, focused solely on high quality prints. And since then, we've done several other print runs, and they keep selling out within minutes. I think this last run for North was under 2 minutes, every single piece sold. So it's clear that the people want it. But here's the thing, Ryan, is I love Ola for NFT space because she creates her work from a digital process.
Right.
So when we're looking at creating her limited edition fine art prints, it's actually done digitally first and then goes to the printer. And where some artists will create a painting first and then take like camera shots of it, high def cameras, send it to a printer, they'll do G clay prints, and it comes out that way. But Ola starts digitally. And so why not have NFT as an avenue for her fans and collectors to acquire her work for their wallets, for their walls, their digital walls. And we're finding that people really love it in one-of-one type format, in stills, but we're also looking at some animation stuff. We have done a little bit of animation there, but we are only have scratched the surface with Ola Volo, and I'm really looking forward to what's in the pipeline for 2021.
Some really fun works coming out of an artist named Jantzi that I'd love for you to share with us. And these are the ones that are POV style, point of view.
Yeah.
One of the neat ones, looking over the diving board or driving that T-bird. And some of those pieces, maybe talk about that kind of relationship and how Jantzi now is just loving this digital art form.
Yeah, Jantzi's my boy, and I've got nothing but the utmost respect for him, and we bounce off each other to build each other up. So the POV style has clearly been really entertaining for folks. I think it's pretty unique, not only in the physical realm and painting space with his POV work, but also in the NFT space, and people like it. It's fun, it's sexy, it's cool. It's that joie de vivre, that really good vibes going on with the work. And people can feel and immerse themselves as being like potentially the main character in the work of art itself. Sean has had several exceptional solo exhibitions here in Vancouver. And, we just thought, hey, why not try the NFT space? And I had no idea how Sean was going to adapt to NFT. But I've found he's been one of the physical artists that have traversed, miles ahead of a lot of others, because he's now finding new ways to express himself. And that's what art is, Ryan. It's how do you take what's going on in here and put it out like that for other people to enjoy and to embrace and to communicate with them. And so now Sean has these ideas and this energy bubbling up inside him that maybe he could never do as physical painting. But NFT is giving him an opportunity to create those works and adjust them and look at ways of doing them in variation formats without having to really hit the canvas and paint and spend, a lot of that time associated with painting and doing it as an NFT. So I'm really liking the POV styles. And then he has some nods to the greats. And I think great artists always nod and give respect to the artists of the past. So you'll see some works like After Hockney. So it'll have like essence of Hockney in the work. And then like After Tom Vesselman, where it's like multiple pop art images associated with each other in a single work. I believe there's one on KnownOrigin right now called Still Life with Pipe. Very sexy, very cool, has such a good energy and just like real mood to it. You know what I'm saying?
So with KnownOrigin and this guest editor spot, which has seen some amazing art been thrown up on these walls and guest editor spots for the past months with KnownOrigin. We decided to feature obviously 3 of the artists that we've talked about today in iHeart, Ola Volo, and of course Sean Jantzi. And so part of that, what's dropping, what's coming out, what's new, what's fresh, like what's going to come out this week?
So real simply put, Ryan, On the 14th, we're going to do a scheduled release for an iHeart, an Ola, and a Sean Jantzi, all to be released at exactly the same time. And so for iHeart, we've got this incredible work created exclusively for NFT. It's called Follow for Follow. It's based off a mural he's done twice in Vancouver. And it's of this jogger or lady on a stroll looking at her phone, and it pops up is 2 followers, right? Like, you're on your phone, oh, 2 new followers. But then this light flickers and the background's black, and then out appears 2 mysterious looking characters with hoodies on. And it's like, those are her 2 followers. It's kind of creepy.
Such a strong.
It's kind of cool. It's super smart. It's great satire. And it's executed really well as an NFT.
So what's dropping with Ola Volo then?
So for Ola, she recently did a mural in Vancouver that was in partnership with the YWCA. It was called Wall for Women. And it's her NFTs based off that massive mural, which is at the most high traffic SkyTrain station, or what some people would consider a subway station in Vancouver, right in the central business district of Vancouver. And so it's this massive, beautiful mural of a woman with a rose, and it's a powerful queen-like figure, but elegant and almost humble looking, the way that she approaches her queens. Like, they're not sort of fierce, powerful, hungry queens. They're actually really humble, elegant, yet strong characters that Ola brings to the table. So we're still to be determined if we're going to do how many variations we're going to do, but what we're hoping to do is 2 color variations of this particular work, and there'll be stills, and we're hoping to also do 2 animated versions of that same piece, to be determined when those come out. But for sure, at least 1 still is going to be released on April 14th as part of this sort of scheduled release.
So with Sean Jantzi then, the POV style, we just saw some really neat still with pipe come out. What's dropping? What's coming? What's hitting up on that 14th?
So Sean's been working tirelessly on this. So I gave him a nod and said, hey, looks like we might be doing a scheduled release alongside Ola and iHeart. And Sean's really stepped up to the plate. But let me tell you, it's exquisite. It's a nod to Tom Vesselman. So if anyone knows Tom Vesselman, very famous pop artist. If not, I recommend you actually search and research a little bit about Tom Vesselman before you see this Sean Jantzi come out. But it's gorgeous. It actually, I know one thing for sure. It's got this perfume bottle in it, and it's the same perfume bottle from the movie Darjeeling Hotel. Sean's big into literature, big into cinema, and other forms of art. And so he likes to use that as influence in the work that he creates. And you're going to see some major nods to artists and movies within this work. And from what I've seen so far, not only is it exquisite, but it's downright beautiful.
Thank you so much for spending time with us and just indulging into more of the NFTs on the KnownOrigin platform. It is an honor and pleasure to have been the guest editor spot here on KnownOrigin, and we look forward for more fun, more NFTs, and some phenomenal art coming out of our stable.